Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I am Alifa Ardla Farahdila from English Department 2019. Today I will talk to you about homeschooling in Indonesia. So there are some points that I want to tell you about homeschooling in Indonesia. There are the definition of homeschooling, and then the benefit and disadvantage of homeschooling, and also homeschooling education system in Indonesia and the reasons why some Indonesians choose homeschooling, and then about the examples of homeschooling in Indonesia. So let's go to the first slide about the definition of homeschooling. So what is homeschooling? Homeschooling is an alternative education to private or public school in which the teenagers or the children can learn at their home. So usually they are conducted by qualified tutor or their parents or also an online teacher. Okay, let's move into the next slide about the benefits of homeschooling. Of course, homeschooling has some benefits like flexible schedules because parents can decide the length of the lesson for their children and they can decide the time when they want to take some holidays. And the second benefit is effective learning because homeschooling provides you a low student-teacher ratio without busy work and also without wasting time. And the next benefit is about lack of violence because homeschooling can provide safer environment for children and they will not receive some bullying and also physical abuse from another students. And the next benefit is about extreme achievement or patience. I mean when there are some students or teenager or children who is training with athlete or Olympic athletes or singer or dancer or something like that, they have to be balanced with their education. So homeschooling can be one of the alternative to get the better education for them. Well, the next slide is about the disadvantage of homeschooling. For example, lack of facilities. For some lessons like maybe physics or chemistry, of course it needs some experiment, so it will be a little bit hard for homeschoolers to get some equipments like the materials, the chemicals, also the apparatus and so on, because when they go to the public school or private school they will have some experiments at laboratory, but because it is at home, so it will be a little bit hard for them. And the next disadvantage is need an extra cost or extra pie because of course students need some books, some computers and also computer software or something like that, so parents should provide it by themselves at their home. And the next disadvantage is about the social life, I mean the effects on social life, because of course children or teenagers or students, they still need friends around them. So if the homeschoolers does not have any activity outside the home, outside the study activities, they still need to get to know about the society, so they will be becoming more care to the society. So they are not only prioritize about the study, but they also know about the society and the social life around them. Well, the next slide is about the examples of homeschooling in Indonesia. So there are some famous homeschooling in Indonesia. Of course, I cannot mention one by one, but homeschooling Kak Seto, it has been really famous. I mean, because Kak Seto is one of the public figures who cares about children, about the education of children, something like that. And also we have Bintang Mulia homeschooling, Fikar homeschooling, and also Primagama homeschooling. And yeah, there are so much homeschooling in Indonesia. You can choose. I mean, yeah, you can choose. Uh, Depend on your capabilities and your uh, your want, your willing. So let me summarize about what I have been taught to you about homeschooling in Indonesia. So homeschooling in general or homeschooling in Indonesia of course has some positive effects and some negative effects. So yeah, parents should discuss wisely whether they need to homeschool their child or not. And also uh, from my opinion, homeschooling is a better alternative education for some children or teenagers or yeah, students in some condition or situation. So that's it. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.